Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing well. So today's video is a tutorial on how to chop up and assemble my crystal clear ephemera kit. So this is a standalone ephemera kit and it's basically celestial, well that's kind of what I was going for, like celestial crystals and stuff like that. So I am going to, well, I think you guys probably know the drill by now, so I'm not going to talk whilst I chop these up. I will probably play some music over it whilst I speed up the process, and then I will assemble them with you at the end. Just to say, my printer, which has now broken and is now being replaced, luckily just under warranty, it basically just chopped some of my stuff off at the top. So obviously when you guys print this, as long as your printer is not as annoying as mine, it should hopefully just print normally. But yeah, it's some of them have printed with the correct border and some of them it's just chopped off. But hopefully when I get the replacement printer it won't do that. So okay, so I am gonna just start chopping this up. So that's all of them cut up. I haven't completely cut everything out just because I wanted to show you some different ways that you could do some things. So this is a page of 4 journaling cards. So no assembly necessarily required, depending on what you're wanting to do with them. I mean, if you're wanting to make other things with them, then obviously there'll be assembly required. So as you can see on the printout, I've rounded the corners digitally, and I've only done it slightly, so if you wanted to, you could use the smallest punch, which is 4mm, if you have this particular punch, or something similar, and then that just takes off the white edges and that gives you the perfect journal card. Obviously you don't have to just stick to that size. You could use the bigger sizes, or if you haven't got this and you've just got some scissors, you can just simply snip off the corner and just follow where the white is of the corner. And it's as simple as that. But I'm just going to snip the corners off the other ones as well. Been hit in the face with so many of those corners. Just to give you a bit of a flip through, because this is not just a tutorial, this is the flip through for this kit because it's a standalone ephemera kit. There is no journal pages that go with this one. However, if you've seen my Celestial Nights kit in the in my Etsy shop, those journal pages would go really nicely with this ephemera as well. The Celestial Nights does have its own ephemera kit, but you know, we could always use more ephemera. One thing that I just want to note is that you may notice just a very slight colour change kind of thing in some of the things that I've printed. I think this page is fine, but I didn't actually realise until I've just put them on top of these pages that my printer ink must have run out a little bit as I was printing some of them. So ones that are actually printed onto this paper that I've not cut up, those are the true representation of the colours of the image. This is a page of 6 envelopes. So this is the smallest one. So this one has a little star map on there, and it's basically I've made it so that it flaps over the corners as well, so there's a little bit of pattern on the other side. So with this one, you just simply fold down the side flaps. Just move this and give it a little bit of a burnish. And then fold up the bottom and the top. And it doesn't really matter which way, because the writing's so small it's impossible to see what it actually says, so it's up to you really. I mean, I think I'd probably have this line at the bottom and then have this flap at the top, and then that is your tiny little envelope. Okay, so next we have these little coin envelopes. So you would just literally fold down the flap corner to corner, and then the bottom flap and the top flap. Oh, and sorry, just to assemble this, you would just literally pop a little bit of glue here and here, stick that down, and then you've got your flap at the top. If you don't have a bone folder, in order to burnish, you can literally use the handle of scissors and just run that across, and that gives a good burnish as well. So this is a little coin envelope, so the star will just be with the main point at the top, and then all you would do is just run a bit of glue down the middle there, stick the flap down, and then a bit of glue on this bottom flap and stick that one in, and then you've got your little envelope there. So you've got a nice cute little coin envelope. And then this is a similar sort of design to this one, so it's got the star map on it. I think it's a different star map. And then there's also a constellation in there. I couldn't tell you which one it is, but it is one of them. Okay, I'll use my scissors actually just to show you that it works just as well. Okay, so you see that that's staying in because I've burnished that, and again that's staying in nice. So the scissors do a stand-up job. So with this one, it's entirely your choice really which way you want to have this. So you could have it like this, where you put a line of glue here and some at the bottom and have a flap there, and you could do that either way. Or you could have the outside flap there, and then you make this into a side envelope. So either way, you can just kind of do whatever you feel like with it, really. Okay, so then we've got this one. So this one has got a flap design, so that means that one's going to be the top flap. So we just want to fold these down. So I'm not going to fold immediately on the corner with this design of envelope. I'm going to just give it a little bit of room. And the same on the top flap as well. Just going to give it a little bit of room. That's just how I like to do it. You can obviously do it tighter if you want, and if you do it tighter, you may just need to trim off just that top little bit. It's entirely your choice. Either way, it assembles just fine. Okay, so again, to assemble this, you would just literally fold your two flaps in, run a bit of glue here, and then fold your bottom flap up, and then that gives you a little envelope there, and there's your flap at the top, and then you've got these lovely crystals here as well. Okay, so this is another small square one, so this one is just corner to corner, same again, and then fold the bottom flap down and the top flap down. Right, okay, so this one, so it's got a lovely little crystal cluster there, and again, to assemble this, just a little dab of glue there, pop that flap down, some glue over there, and then pop that flap in as well, and then it's got this little flap embellishment just there. This is a little star, so you can literally choose which way you want it. When it's not got a specifically directional pattern, you can just kind of do whatever you want with them. And as I say in all of my ephemera tutorials, just because it looks like something on a page does not mean that that's what it has to be. So if you see an image on a page and you think, oh well, that's meant to be an envelope, or that's meant to be a pocket, actually it's not. It's meant to be whatever you want it to be. So if you liked this little star in a circle, you could cut that out and then you could use that as a little embellishment. You know, you could even cut that star out and then put like an acetate sheet behind the envelope before you stick it all down. You could turn this into a journaling spot. There's lots of fun things that you can do with these pieces of ephemera, these digital kits. It's just literally use your imagination with it, that's all you need. So with this one, again, just a little dab of glue just there on the flap, close the flap, and then a bit of glue down the sides, and then close that one, and that gives you your top flap. So again, you can choose which way you want that to be. So that is a page of envelopes. So the next one, I have got a little bit more cutting to do on this because I just kind of wanted to show you some of the bits. So there's not any cutting and I need to do extra on these. So here we've got some pockets. So we've got some right corner and some left corner pockets here. So again, another right corner and another left corner. So some of these are lighter than these the other ones, and that's purely because I wanted to leave it in a way that you could kind of decorate it yourself. So you could maybe add a bit of lace, add some embellishments and stuff like that. And you can do that on these ones, it's just because it's got a focal point, that's why it's a little bit more rich in colour. So we've got those 4 pockets, so those are assembled. Then we've got these rounded ones. Now, like I said at the start, my printer printed these ones far too high. So as you can see here, again, it's still too high, but it's and it's also slanted. It's honestly, my printer is a nightmare, but you can see that the top corners were actually meant to be rounded, but instead I've had to kind of cut them that way. And then again, we've got 2 of the right corner pockets as well. So when you've got like these rounded ones, unfortunately it doesn't work to put them into one of these because the corner's too deep, but you can do the actual corner of the pocket. So if you have a look, I think the 4mm is a little bit too small, but 7mm should work fine. And then that gives me a nice rounded corner there. And then all you do is just kind of follow the white line and cut it around there. So I think what I'll try and do is a makeshift corner here to make up for my annoying printer. So I'll just do that on the other ones as well, just so that they all match up. Oh, and also guillotines are not always that great. It dropped in the middle of me cutting, like positioning something, so it did that. I mean, it's not the worst case. You can't really tell that that's happened, so I can just put some reinforcement behind this pocket. But yeah, my guillotine arm is very loose for some reason. Maybe overuse. Okay. So then we've got these two corner pockets and these ones as well. You can obviously use these on the left side if you want to, but you've got the option of using these the right side as well. And again, similar sort of thing, so slightly lighter in contrast so that you can decorate them as you please. So that's those two sets of pockets. And then we've also got these little round ones. I love these because you can use these for literally everything. Anything. Well, everything, sure, let's go with it. So you can basically use these as like envelope closure. So if you had like a little hole punched through and some twine, you could go around like that. You could print them on the back of something else or on the back of each other, and you could turn them into a charm. You could use them as like cluster focal points or just use them as page tabs and decorators and stuff, but I love stuff like this, so I think these are really helpful. And then finally we've got 3 of these tickets, and these this is like a star map as well. So again, I've not cut these out, so I can just show you what I do to cut these out. So you can just use the scissors if you want to, but I generally don't get the results that I specifically want. I do need a better hole circle punch than this because it's so not user friendly at all, but it does the job eventually. So I just literally place it in about where the design is. It's not a perfect fit, but as long as I get like the corners of the print there, I should get no white at the back. And then there we have it, a nice little tag with the corners out. So I'm just going to do the same with these ones as well. Okay, so now we have 3 lovely little tickets as well. Now we have a page of pockets. Now these are light in contrast purposely so that they're there for you to be able to decorate. However, you can see that there is, well, hopefully you can see, just seeing if I can see it in the camera. Well, I mean, you can definitely see it on these bottom 2, but this must have been where my printer decided to give out. So yeah, these ones are the true colour of what these should actually look like. But you know, I'm not going to waste these because like I feel like, you know, it's fun to have different colours of things. So with these ones, so you can see that these are quite rounded. So what I did actually do in the earlier part when I was chopping is I literally just put these together and I just cut the corners out, just because it doesn't need to be completely accurate. They're going to be folded up, so it's not going to make that much of a difference. And again, I've also rounded the corners on the digi. I don't really know why I've done that because these are the flaps that go in. Obviously, if you are wanting to use these as journaling cards, you could just round off those corners very simply with a punch. To use these as the pockets, you're just going to fold a flap. So there's no specific fold lines, so just literally fold it how you want. So you can do the flaps as thin or as thick as you like. And it's as simple as that. So I'm just going to burnish the flaps on that one. Okay, and then all you would do is just a bead of glue down here and then stick that onto a page if you're using it as a pocket. So I'll just do the same thing with all of the others so you can just kind of see the process. So, and you can see also why there's no need to have rounded the corners, but what you can do actually is, if you want to, you could just snip off the corners like that, and then that just kind of stops anything sticking up behind as well, if that's what you wanted to do. I personally prefer a thinner flap because it just means you get more of the pocket image really. And also you can see here that there is like a little bit of an edge, so if you wanted that to kind of match up here, you could literally just snip off the top corner and then you'll have 4 edges that look exactly the same. And last but not least, we have a page full of lovely tags. Again, these the cutout ones are slightly different in colour to the ones that are printed. I think maybe this is where it started giving in, I'm not sure. But yeah, so basically there are 4 of the larger ones, 5 of the medium-sized ones, and 5 of these tiny ones. So again, no assembly required, just cutting. So I'm just going to show you these on the one that's got the actual intended colour. So those are the larger ones, and then we've got these which are the medium ones, and these ones are paler in contrast because they are there for kind of like decoration, customization, whatever you want to do. And then some tiny tags which have these gorgeous little crystals on there. Okay, so that is everything from this ephemera flip through and tutorial. So I'll be putting the link to the ephemera kit in the description below. So please do check that out in my Etsy store, and I think that'll be it from me today. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And also, if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. I'd absolutely love to have you as a subscriber, and it would really support my business as well. So I will leave it there for today, so thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!